It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
Good morning, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday.
Amen.
I am Philip Simon.
Amen. Amen, Phil. You got a noise from the choir, and I wear my
Oh,
choir
listen,
sleeves today, so I could just.
absolutely.
Amen. Well, it is another weekend, and we hope that you guys enjoyed a wonderful week. How was the week for you, Phil?
Long,
Yeah.
long as you can tell. I am so, and even yesterday during work, it feels like I got beat right up, Godfrey, on the beach. So I'm glad it's Friday.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can make it through this day to
Yeah.
get to tonight,
Yeah.
and then, of course, the weekend.
Yeah, I feel how you feel, Phil.
Yeah,
Like yesterday, all I wanted to do was literally go back in my bed, pull the covers over
goodness.
my head, and just say, forget it. You know,
Man.
that did not happen.
It didn't happen.
That did not happen. And
Yeah.
so here we are, another Friday, and just grateful for the opportunity to be alive, to be working, to be full of life, and with the capacity and all of our capabilities intact to be able
Yeah.
to do what we do.
Absolutely, and to be with
Yeah.
you, and
Yeah,
to be with you
certainly.
on another edition here of Bahamas at Sunrise. Again, a full week of activities, I think. It just seems as though we were just here on Monday. That's how full it was. But, listen, like Grammy said, to God be the glory.
Great things he has done.
Absolutely.
And a great show
Absolutely.
that we have in store for you today.
yeah.
Certainly a wonderful and very full lineup.
Yeah, JBLN is here, the Junior Baseball League of Nassau. We call them the local champs. I mean, they seem to be winning everything. They went off and did a fantastic job in Curacao recently. We're going to talk about that. And of course, it's here. The time is here. Junkanoo Summer Festival. My kids are excited.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually looking forward to it
I am too. I
My
am too.
mom, I called her last night to let Cairo speak with her, and she was on her way to Gumbe and Grand Bahama. So it's good to see that these things are still happening and people are still being driven towards
What
them.
does Carol say when you say you let Carol speak to her? What does she say?
Oh, she says Nana,
Okay.
and then they do different things together. So she'll say her numbers. She counts 1 to 30 now,
Oh, okay.
and she'll say her ABCs with her, and they will do. Now she's on days of the week. So yeah,
Okay,
they
all right, so
have.
she's
you know,
talking.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
she speaks a full gibberish language that nobody understands.
But she
my
understands.
mom just smiles.
Absolutely,
'cause,
she understands. It's usually yes, yes, okay, all right, yes, yeah.
Yeah, and in addition to all of that, we've also have the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and our Bridging the Gap segment. That should be pretty interesting. And we'll find out about Rev's cashback promotion, and the Bahamas Insurance Association tells us all we need to know about hurricane insurance. So as we
Yeah.
said, a very full show, but we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and the Alive Weekend calendar, lots of things going on this weekend. I mean, it's summer. We're like right in the middle of it. Back to school is just a couple of weeks away.
Isn't that
but
amazing?
a lot of things happening.
Yeah,
a lot of
well,
things happening.
one of my girlfriends in the States, her daughter actually starts school August 1st. So they're already in full
wow.
swing moving on
Yeah.
that side. And so we've only got a couple weeks left, my teachers. Enjoy it. And those of us that have been enjoying our traffic-free mornings,
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, here is Godfrey Burnside now with our first look at weather.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Star, and good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at weather at sunrise, had that stationary falling boundary across the central Florida area, triggering out showers and thunderstorms across the northwest Bahamas the last several days. Expected to dissipate sometime today, early tomorrow morning. High pressure builds across the island, so a good-looking weekend in store weather-wise. Today, a mix of sun and clouds, still hot and humid. Expect some breezy ignition on the central and southeastern islands with a few showers and possible thunderstorms popping up mainly during the afternoon hours. High temperature 90 degrees Fahrenheit, your heat index 105. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a few showers, possible thunderstorms, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas. Your low temperature go down to 79 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean: Barbados 85 and 79, in Jamaica 86 and 73, in Trinidad 85 and 75, and the Turks and Caicos Islands 90 and 78. Across North America: Atlanta 85 and 67, in Raleigh 84 and 64, in Miami 91 and 79, Dallas, Texas 91 and 69, and Toronto, Canada 79 and 67. As we go through the weekend, pretty good weekend in store weather-wise. Partly sunny skies, still hot and humid, but there's a chance of 1 or 2 showers by late afternoon, possible thunderstorm. Those temperatures daytime will be in the low 90s, at nighttime in the upper 70s. That puts you up in your first look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. This morning we've got some athletes in the house, albeit a little bit older than they used to be, but still definitely legends within their own rights and within their own sports. And we're talking about the JBLN, which is the Junior Baseball League of Nassau. We hear about it all the time. And they actually went and participated in the Little League Baseball Caribbean Regional Qualifier in Curacao. That's a mouthful. Did very well. Beat up on the Dominican Republic team. We heard about that 5-0, but here to tell us more about that is Javier Bo, head coach of JBLN, Kenny Mondesir, assistant coach, JBLN, and my good friend Shane Albury in this really nice shirt this morning, softball director of JBLN, and the Bahamas Baseball Association secretary. Gents, good morning. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Morning, and
For,
thank you
for
for having
people
us.
who may not know, tell us a little bit about the JBLN.
Shane, I'll defer that to you.
Sure thing. Junior Baseball League of Nassau. We've just completed our 30th year.
30.
30, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the season coming up, we'll start 31 years
Wow.
of providing baseball and now softball for young people throughout Nassau.
Right. Right.
And we try our best to promote healthy atmosphere at our baseball fields. And with that, getting kids off to school, off to college as one of our mandates.
Okay. Okay. And you guys have done that really well. I mean, you hear about some of the products, I believe, that have come out of your system.
Most certainly.
And certainly very popular among our young people. But this most recent tournament, how did you guys get to represent that?
Well, every year after each league has completed their season, we go into what we call baseball nationals, which is similar to track and field nationals.
Okay.
The winner of that tournament then wins the right to represent the Bahamas at the League Caribbean Region tournament. So as a result of our victory in Eleuthera against Grand Bahama, the Eleuthera, Abaco, we won that right to compete in Curacao to represent the Bahamas, which was an excellent experience for all of our players.
Man, we'll talk a little bit about that. It was in Curacao this year. Curacao was the host country. Talk a little bit about the experience in Curacao.
Well, it was an awesome experience, even for us as older guys, like you said, right? But just to see the faces and the culture exchange that we would go with the 12-year-old guys.
Okay.
An awesome experience. We would go there and we saw different people playing baseball with different techniques, and the guys just went ahead and improved themselves from that point of view.
Was this the first time that the JBN All-Stars got to go and compete internationally, representing the country, or the first time at that particular competition?
Well, it's not the first time at that particular competition.
Okay.
We would have done that in 2017
Okay.
with, I think, Sebastian and Jaden and those. So that would have been 2 years ago. Last year we did the Pony regional tournament in Dominican Republic. So realistically, our name is, from an international perspective, is out there.
Okay.
We represented very well, and I'll give you a scenario. When we played against Cuba,
Yeah.
they threw their best pitch at us.
Okay.
And for persons that know about baseball,
Right.
he faced 18 of our batters.
Wow.
And set down 18 batters, striking out 17. Okay, so on that level, he was a different talent.
Right. Wow.
They got in some problems. The Cuban team got in some problems against Curacao the day before, and they went to him.
Wow.
And the same thing. He
Okay.
saw 5 batters and set down 5 batters.
Okay.
So
was
arguably
pretty
the
good.
best pitcher that in that tournament.
In the tournament, wow.
And they sent him against us, which
Right.
told us that they
Oh,
were
they
What they
scared.
expected from us.
They
Yeah,
expected
they
to
took
have
it very
some
seriously.
competition
They
from the
were
Bahamas.
scared,
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
So that tells us now that our name is ringing out.
Ringing out, yeah.
You know, so
Oh,
that's definitely something that we're proud of.
Yeah. Well, talk a little bit about some of your star performers, star players, names that we may or may not know.
Well, you know, first we represent everybody we had 14 players that went over. We started from October of last year, going to Abaco to tournaments, Freedom Farm had tournaments, and so we want to recognize everybody
Okay,
there.
yeah.
But there are sometimes that kids do have a different skill set,
Right.
and you're looking at Dewan Stewart, Bohan Adderley, Alex Ineas, different players like that that have a skill set that's a little higher, a little more
Yeah.
from them, but and they really expand themselves, and they really showed up in Curacao against the regional competition, and they really stood out.
Yeah.
And so I'll call it names.
But you say that, you know, there's a 12-year-old, I guess, age limit in that particular competition. But you guys take them from like
4.
from 4. From 4. Talk about that. I mean, obviously 30 years is a long time, and you've been doing something well. You know, so talk a little bit about the evolution, and in terms of taking a 4-year-old through a system all the way to 12.
Yeah. Well,
And does it end at 12?
No, no,
No.
no.
Okay.
With the 4-year-olds, you know, that's the beginning, where we start the fundamentals of the sport, and with the fundamentals, we try to encourage fun
Yeah.
with
Okay.
with the players.
Right.
Have fun. Unfortunately, as parents and some coaches, they want to win.
Right.
So they introduce
Right.
that element of it very early. Win, win, win. No, we want you to have fun first
Okay, okay.
while you're learning. And if you continue to have fun and learn the sport,
Right.
you fall in love with it and you want to
To win.
continue to grow.
Right.
Right? And as you learn and as you grow, yes, we start to say, hey, W here, L there, wins and losses.
Yeah.
But yes, we start them off at 4 with T-ball.
Yeah.
And we go all the way up to senior league, which is just over 21 years of age.
And, you know, and that's excellent. I mean, I've been involved. Well, you know, we've been
Yeah.
competing even when we were a little bit younger in the last grade. It's such an important thing to be a part of a team environment. It just shapes, you know, your mind. It shapes obviously your body, the physics of it. You know, but what's next? I mean, what's next for this particular team? Is there another competition on the horizon? Are we into off season? What's next?
So again, we're in our off-season program now.
Okay.
And Coach Mondese and I have already started to look at some players and start to build for the future, looking at those coming up from 10U that are going to be now entering the 12U division with a view of now assisting them with that transition from the smaller field to the larger field and what's next. And to go back on what he would have said and what Shane would have said, you have some players at that 4-year-old, you just see it in them.
Okay.
And now we're seeing that because certain players stand out from the rest. You try and cultivate that and prepare them for that next level.
Okay.
So now we're talking about international tournaments, getting them into the system where now scouts and college coaches and high school coaches
Yeah.
can now see them.
Yeah.
So from this 12U now, you're talking 14U now where they can start and get into the system
Okay.
and get tracked.
Yeah.
So if a college coach now calls and says, look, I'm looking for a center fielder,
Okay.
they now can say,
Okay.
okay, we saw this guy here
Yeah.
at this tournament. You can now go and look at him.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's where it is now, getting them to that transitional level.
Yeah, and of course that's a team effort straight across the board, not just in terms
Straight
of the
across-
players,
straight across
but
the
you know
board.
the coaches, the parents,
Parents.
and of course the sponsors. I see it there on your shirt. I mean, just really quickly, Shane. I mean, obviously, if somebody wants to help and participate, you know, there's room for that.
Yeah, most certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, most certainly. And we thank all of our sponsors. We're always looking forward to more sponsors.
right?
And you know, we've had some tremendous sponsors over the years. And even with sponsorship, we're now looking for players.
Okay.
Because we're always looking to recruit new players.
Yeah.
You know, with the system now, like I tell people, we're burning it now at both ends of the candle. Persons coming in, and as fast as they come in, some are leaving out earlier than
Yeah.
anticipated.
Yeah.
Because like Javier said, we have
People
coaches
looking,
and
right.
scouts now taking players a bit earlier
Yeah.
for either high school or college,
Yeah.
and that's for softball and baseball.
Yeah. Okay.
So particularly with me, with being the softball director, my recruiting goes on year round.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Year round, looking for players, looking for additional coaches. You know, for instance, this year I have seven or eight players that have received scholarships to play high school ball in the United States.
Excellent. Yeah.
We have one or two that'll be going off to college.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have quite a number of players who obviously didn't expect to leave so early,
Right.
but
Yeah.
coaches saw them and they're, you know, taking them to the United States.
Yeah. Good. Well, excellent. Listen, guys, thank you so much for coming on Sunrise. Congratulations once again. Continue to keep up the good work. Look to come back on and let's talk a little bit more about, you know, the entire operation. 30 plus years is a long time to continue the celebration. We've been with Javier Bo, head coach of the JBLN. Kenny Mondesir?
Mondesir is good.
All right, assistant coach. And of course, Shane Albury, softball director of JBLN and the secretary of the Bahamas Baseball Association. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
COB prepared me to be a leader by teaching me to work hard for what I want. I'm the first chief internal auditor at the University of the Bahamas. To me, that's an honor to be able to do that. I feel like I'm giving back to a university that gave me a start in my life. I'm Errol Thompson, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 321st or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Junkanoo Summer Festival is happening this July and August under the theme Celebrating the Bahamas, We Are More Than Sun, Sand, and Sea. Well, here to tell us more, we're very happy to welcome Charity Brister. She's the Director of Events with the Ministry of Tourism and Aviation. And we've got Davrielle Burrows. She's the Senior PR Officer at REV. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Always happy to have you with us, Ms. Brister. I was saying to you, I feel like I haven't seen you
know,
in
it's
so
been
long.
a while, yes,
So
but it's always good to be here.
always good to have you with us. Whenever you come, I know something good is happening in terms of our culture and our people and exporting it to the world. And so now we're celebrating Summer Festival. And it really is kind of evolved and it grows and it changes.
Yes.
And this summer we're doing some new things.
Yes, absolutely. Like you've indicated, we are highlighting the family islands.
Okay.
And so each week that they're taking the spotlight, various islands. This week we're celebrating Cat Islands in Salvador.
Okay.
And some of the southern islands as well, Acklands, Makewana. And so we've reached out to the Junkanoo groups. Their theme or their banners will depict that. The vendors, we've asked them to create some of their menus around things that are specialty to various islands.
Okay.
And the same thing with the entertainers. So as always, every week we have entertainment all day. In fact, this year we've taken it up a notch.
Okay.
Normally when people come to the event, they say, oh, the day is slow, and usually it's hot anyway. But this year, it's like really jam-packed with live entertainment from in the afternoon.
All right.
So anytime persons come, they will be entertained. During the day from 1 p.m., we have the artisans doing demonstrations on the hour.
Okay.
We have the culinary demonstrations, mixology demonstrations, and of course, there's no cultural event without those competitions like the pineapple eating, switcher, drinking, crab catching. And so all of that takes place all day. In addition to that, in terms of entertainment, we have live band, We have steel bands. We have
Interesting.
early Junkanoo for those persons who don't want to stay out very late.
Okay.
And so there's a early rush with the original Congos, and that would take place at about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And then the second rush actually would be at about 9:15. And then the final rush is at 11:30, and that ends with the Valley Boys. Music Makers is at 9:15.
Okay.
And in between all of those, you have Lacido Boys, the Police Marching Band, the Synergy Band, Obeah Man, the Rhythm Band, Gino D. So it's just so much activity all day. And one thing that we're also doing this year, we've partnered with the Guardian group of companies.
Okay.
And if you purchase the Guardian, there's a golden ticket in there.
Okay.
You fill it out and you bring it to Junkanoo Summer Festival, put it in the box, and you have a chance to win a fabulous prize. Last week, a young lady won a Movado watch from Little Switzerland.
Take that.
So you don't want to miss it.
Okay.
Check the Guardian and fill out your golden ticket and bring it down. Also, I want to just highlight that, as you see, we have Rev with us.
Yeah.
And we're so grateful that they're on board again this year.
Right.
And in addition to that, like I mentioned, the Guardian group of companies, Alive, Little Switzerland, and John Bull.
Okay.
And so we're just ready to roll.
Yeah, I mean, and that is evident. That is evident. Certainly a whole mouthful that we could experience when we go out there to the Summer Festival. And it's good because we get to celebrate our culture. And of course, tourists get to engage with us as locals. And so it's a beautiful exchange.
And talking about tourists, everybody was talking about the amount of tourists that were out last week. It was amazing.
Okay.
The young ladies from tourism who worked the shuttle buses, they had calls all day, all night, Bahama, Malia, Breezes, Atlantis, everybody calling how many persons they have, waiting for the shuttle. And so we have the shuttles that go back and forth on the hour. And in addition to that, we also have shuttles from the Prince George Wharf for visitors wanting to come, and they were having a blast.
That's phenomenal, though, and it's good to see that you guys are doing those sort of logistical movements. So we're actually moving them from their spaces into spaces with locals. Gabrielle, as somebody that works with Rev, a company that is pretty dedicated, I would say, based on when I think about all the groups that you've sponsored in the past, why was this particular initiative something that Rev wanted to be involved with?
Sure. Well, when it comes to our sponsorship dollars, we always want to make sure they're utilized as well as possible. Some of our key objectives are preserving Bahamian culture, and we like to call it celebrating Bahamian excellence. And so the Junkanoo Summer Festival does a fantastic job of doing both of those things. It's a fun time for the whole family. There's things that you can learn about Bahamian culture. There's demonstrations. You learn. I think last year they had a brick oven demonstration.
Actually, in the rock oven, there's bread baking.
So, I mean, it's just something that celebrates who we are, but in a fun way that integrates both tourists and locals. And, I mean, it's an excellent event. It's a fun event. It's one of those events that I really enjoy that we sponsor. Well, you know, if I have to work Junkanoo Summer Festival, it's a pretty good time.
It's a pretty good time to be there.
And so our donation, I think this year is somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000. And so we're really putting our money where our mouth is with this one because we really want to just partner with the Ministry of Tourism and invest in the future of the country.
Yeah, and I think we get that from Rev, right? Even the fact that your news is called Our News is this symbolic relationship between us and the country. And so certainly a great joy to see Rev partner with them. Y'all giving many of them prizes. What is we call it on the stage?
We are. So our sales team is going to be out there. We've been signing people up for our new product trio, and they're going to be engaging with the crowd, giving away prizes for sure. We're going to do a check presentation in the coming weeks, and then we'll also have some really great prizes then.
That's awesome. Awesome. All right, so Chatty, before we go, I know we talked about some of the entertainment starting at 1, but is that also the time that the village
event
is open?
starts, yes, at 1 p.m. And
goes until
we
11.
say basically until
Last
week it went extremely late because we had Genesis and Roots performing. And so like the Junkanoo didn't start until 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. It's
but
Junkanoo.
people were loving it. They weren't moving. They were lined up along the street there waiting for the Junkanoo group. And there were like hundreds of persons still listening to the live entertainment. So it was
And
it was
that's
enough
the
for
beauty.
everybody.
That's the beauty of the summer festival. All right, so obviously a wonderful event for families. Is there a price for admission?
No,
Nope.
it's free
What?
admission. And of course, as you said, family, we have a fabulous kids corner.
Okay.
With lots of games, the bouncing castle. It's only, I think it's $3 for the kids corner
Right.
for certain things, of
Okay.
course. But other than that,
Come on
all
out
of
and
the
enjoy.
authentic Bahamian games, the kids can enjoy and learn how to play.
Oh, wow. Well, this is a wonderful time. Hoping that I can make it out there
I
tomorrow.
hope so.
But we thank you guys so much for joining us this
Thank you.
morning,
Thank you.
for reminding us about those really fantastic elements outside of sun, sea, and sand that make us who we are. And we're looking forward to an excellent Junkanoo Summer Festival. Thank you
Yes.
both.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Ever wondered what smart health insurance feels like?
Atlantic Medical's 24/7 worldwide health insurance does most of the thinking for you.
1,500 CGI health claims are settled daily.
56% of claims settled automatically.
You can access your health plan almost anywhere, anytime.
And have smart wellness with online data tracking.
And more provider choices for you and the people who matter most.
Premier Health is smart health insurance, and it feels good.
Atlantic Medical, where people come first.
One thing, two things. Blue thing, all things. Things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
This summer, take off with Shell. Spend $20 or more in fuel and enter to win. You and a friend can experience Bruno Mars live in concert in Viva Las Vegas. Or relax in picturesque Harbor Island for the regatta. Or plan an exciting vacation for 4 to Orlando. Fuel up at your nearest Shell service station and you can also win thousands of dollars in free gas, Bahamas Air vouchers, Super Value gift certificates, or one of many new iPhones that will be given away this summer. So hurry into your favorite Shell location and enter to win. Like us on Facebook for more chances to take off with Shell and win today.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Of course, on this Bridging the Gap segment, we're very pleased to be joined once again by Maria Kelly, the Executive Secretary of the Disabilities Commission, and Dr. Carolyn Hall Knowles, a member of the Disabilities Commission, but you've got another title. We're going to get to that in just a second. The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities has been mandated to carry out the provisions of persons with disabilities through Disabilities Act. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. How you doing?
Good morning, and morning Bahamas.
Good morning, good morning. This legislation, it's obviously been in effect for 1 or 2 years?
Oh, a little bit longer than that. First of all, it's the statutory body legislated by law that was passed and tabled in July of 2014 and then passed in August of the same year. And we went full force by December of the same year.
Okay. So the official name is the Equal Opportunities Act, is that correct?
Persons with Disability, Equal Opportunity Act.
Okay. All right, great. Well, speak a little bit about the purpose of the act and why it was necessary to have it legislated.
The purpose of the act is for total inclusion for persons with disability so they can be treated no differently from those able-bodied persons.
Do you find that that's a problem, a real problem here in the Bahamas, specifically in the island of Providence?
Yes, it most definitely is a problem. Discrimination is a problem. Persons with disabilities, just like others, want an equal opportunity and to have access to services and goods that everyone else has services and goods for. Access to government buildings, to conduct their own business independently, and to be able to function as every other adult in the country would.
They just do things a little differently than an able-bodied person does it.
Yeah. So the commission was established to really look out for these rights,
yes,
for the
essentially.
rights of persons.
Yeah. Speak about a little bit about the composition of the commission and the role it plays.
The composition is made up of 15 members.
Okay.
5 are from government ministries, labor, social services, works, health,
Education.
and education, right. And they will bring to the table anything to do with those areas of expertise. Then there's 5 members, 4 of whom are persons with disabilities, and or work with an NGO, so for the 5. Then we have 1 person from civil society, another who will look out for the rights of the employers, another for the rights of the workers, and
caregivers.
and
et cetera.
caregivers. Yeah, 2 from that area.
You mentioned education
Yeah.
representation. You're a member, but you also serve a
As
specific
the education subcommittee chair, yes.
And what does that mean? That obviously that means educating people about
Educating
the commission or
the society about the needs of persons with disabilities, about the law that's now in effect for quite some time, about anything that is required to edify one about the rights of persons with disabilities and how we are to implement those rights or implement those decisions to provide opportunity for those rights.
So you have the commission, and then you also have the secretariat.
Secretariat, yes. The secretariat is the body. Well, the secretariat, first of all, is made up of a team of staff members, and they drive, the secretariat drive the work of the commission. The commission deals with formulating plans, policies and plans for persons with disability, and the commission, the secretariat drives that.
Executes them. Okay, great. You know, obviously the public plays a role in all of this. You know, once you become more sensitized to persons with disabilities to begin with and what they are, but more can be done, obviously, from a public perspective.
Definitely. And one of the biggest things that concerns all members on the commission is the fact of accessibility. And one of those things is, well, we gave an extension for 2 years that all public buildings must have adequate parking for persons with a disability. And there's some businesses that have signs, others might just have markings, but yet the public do not respect it at all. They park
everywhere.
Exactly.
Everywhere. And you see the blue, I mean, obviously.
Yeah. Right. And it's unfortunate that persons don't respect it, because if they go to the United States, for an example, or Canada, they see that sign or that marking, they will not, because there's a fine attached to it. And right now we are looking at regulations. Although we have the Act and we are governed, everything we do is governed by that Act. We are in the process of looking at doing some amendments in the Act and also working on regulations. And with those regulations, there will definitely be fines
and penalties, etc. Are there any businesses that okay, so it's government obviously, but also businesses have a responsibility as well, whether it's disabled parking, access to the buildings themselves. Are there any exemptions to that?
Well, older buildings, inspectors go out and look to make sure they are accessible. Now we know some businesses can change the makeup of their building because they're very old structures, but they still have to have an area that someone with a disability can come in and receive the same services that an able-bodied would. So if it means having to move, say, the credit office downstairs once they see someone that has
a disability.
And we're also looking at persons with disability, especially those who are visually impaired. They want to do their own banking. And so we're looking with the clearing banks, hopefully, to get ATM machines that will indicate the dollar amount that is being taken out. Yes, they have the braille on it to punch in your code, but to be certain, they don't need anybody to come in telling us what to do.
Private.
So what's the main message as we wrap up this segment? What's the main message that you want to share this morning and get out to the general public and other stakeholders about, not just the act, but persons with disabilities, just really quickly?
Persons with disabilities are people too.
Right.
They want to have the opportunity to function as a regular citizen, as citizens of the Bahamas do function. So.
Total inclusion.
Total inclusion.
Total inclusion.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much. We're glad that we included you in today's show in this segment of Bridging the Gap. Is something
And I just want to say before we close out, we would like all businesses and the public to adhere to signs that have parking for the disabled. And only those persons with a decal should be parking and making their building accessible. So with ramps, because we gave the general population 2 years. And I drive around now and I see many buildings without ramps, bathrooms with rails, etc.
Absolutely. Well, this is where the government comes in, and this is where those fines and penalties need to be executed.
Yeah.
Maria Kelly, Executive Secretary, Disabilities Commission, thank you so much for joining us. Dr. Hall Knowles, good to see you again.
Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
New Providence Life Insurance Company wants to be your lifetime insurance partner. Through good times and bad, we are here to light the way. We offer educational savings plans, family plans for medical, dental, and vision, income protection to pay bills if you can't work, and a full set of plans designed for senior adults. New Providence Life, your beacon of security through every season.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here. Are you telling you he's being all type shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with RevGo Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
So who really own a Nassau container port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do. Thank you. I do.
I do. And one day, he will too.
I do. Knock knock.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. I just like to say that I really enjoy having Phil Simon on the show. It is such a blessing to my life. It really is, Phil. So thank you.
I bring some entertainment factor, obviously. But listen, on a serious note, I mean, when we finished the segment just now with Dr. Knowles and Maria Kelly, they're like, oh God, we just had so much more that we wanted to say, and it's a serious topic, and we take it for granted for those of us that may not have a disability. I think we kind of take, these benefits and these normalcies that we have for granted, and don't pay as much attention. I mean, people park in disabled spots all the time. People stop doing it, man. It's there for a reason. It's just not because, you have to put it in order to get permits and all the rest of it. It's there for people, and they are out there. They need it. Access to buildings. I mean, that's a big thing. I'm not going to go outside and see what's happening here, but obviously straight around. I mean, from whether it's government buildings or even our private buildings, we don't cater to them the way that we should.
We ought to. It really is a serious thing, and the legislation, I think, that they signed a couple of years ago takes effect around now, and so people really need to be looking out for that. They had an additional 2 years, 2017, so I mean, it's now, so fines and penalties are coming. Check my pockets first before I start pushing that. I'm so happy that we get to have those sorts of conversations, to bring it into people's conscious awareness, to really just look out as best they can in the roles that they find themselves in, to make sure you're looking out for your fellow human being who is differently abled, but quite has all the right faculties, all the right capacities, and is just special or unique in a very different way. So great conversation. You get more of that good stuff to come on the second half. We're going to be talking with Reb again. They've got some cash back stuff.
I saw that. I was like 136. I mean, there's all kinds of money that they give on prizes.
No, money gets us excited.
You know what I'm saying?
So we're going to have that conversation with Rev, and in addition to that, the insurance group is here. They're going to be talking to us about hurricane insurance. We had that good conversation with Godfrey on Monday on hurricanes, but we want to make sure that homes are covered and prepared as well.
Yeah, and the Alive Weekend calendar.
So all of that, all of that ahead and more. Before we get to any of that, we're going to take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Star, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather, sunrise for the tropics remain quiet, and the tropical storm formation expected during the next 5 days. On the local scene, the stationary frontal boundary across central Florida expected to dissipate. It created some showers and thunderstorms over the northwest part of the last several days, and that upper level trough is moving away from the southeastern islands. Will cause a couple of showers in that particular area, but a pretty good day in store weather-wise until the weekend. In your marine forecast, winds today southeasterly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet. Over the northwest and central Bahamas, easterly at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet. Over the central and southeastern islands. On Saturday, those winds become east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet. Over the northwest and central Bahamas, continuing east at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet. Over the southeastern islands. Then on Sunday, those winds become easterly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet. Over the northwest Bahamas, northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet. Over the central and southeastern islands. Yeah, tides. You can expect a low tide at 8:14 this morning. Next high tide at 2:43 this afternoon. Low again tonight at 9:06. Sunset 7:56 this evening. Rises tomorrow morning at 6:35. UV index 9. Your water temperature 84 degrees Fahrenheit. And your moon phase last quarter. Over the weekend, pretty good weekend still weather-wise. Partly sunny skies, hot and humid. There's a chance of a few isolated showers or thunderstorms by afternoon. Though temperature daytime will be in the low 90s. At nighttime in the upper 70s. That's what you're up in your final look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. There are thousands, y'all heard me say it correctly, thousands of dollars to win in Rev's cashback promotion going on over the next 12 months. Back to give us details, she couldn't get enough of me, my good friend Davriel Burrows. She's the Senior PR Officer with Rev Cable Bahamas. So thank you so much for sticking around and staying with us again.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we don't see enough of each other, Dav, so I had to make you come back twice. And of course, Dominique Butler is with us. She's their Senior Social Media Coordinator. Good morning, Dominique.
Morning, how are you?
I'm wonderful. So happy to have you with us today.
Thank you
and
so
we're
much.
looking forward to learning more about how we could win these thousands of dollars, man. So what is the cashback promotion all about?
Sure. So we wanted to make sure that our faithful, loyal customers really appreciate how special they are to us. And how better can you do that than with cash back? It is literally as simple as it sounds. We want to reward people for paying their bills on time and just being partners with us. So basically, we have $136,000 that we're going to be giving away over the next year. Each month, we're going to be giving away $200 to 50 winners every month. And there's no limit to how many times that you can win. Every quarter, we're going to be giving away $1,000. Every 6 months, we're going to be giving away $2,000. Every 9 months, $3,000, and every year we're going to have a grand prize winner of $5,000.
So I could just slot this into my little budget then, because it sounds like I'm going to just win. No, but is there what's the process? What do you have to do?
So first of all, the main thing is you need to go and sign up on my account on cablebahamas.com. Right, first. Secondly, you need to make sure that you pay your bill by the 27th of each month. That's the main thing, and you're automatically entered to win. Now, you can pay your bill at Rev, you can pay your bill at Live, you can pay your bill at Cash and Go. That's as simple as it is. And every month, we will be picking 50 winners, as Dav said, to win $200. And each month, you get, each quarter you get re-entered to win an even bigger prize.
I mean, that sounds really simple, y'all.
It's a lot of money.
I pay my bill on the 15th, so I'm just saying that your girl is ready. Your girl is ready. All right, so will there be live drawings? How will people know that they've won?
Yes. So we're very excited. We're going to have a TV show. Pretty much every month I'm going to turn into your very own Vanna White. But we're going to draw it. We're going to draw live, and that's going to be the first Wednesday of every month. That's why it's imperative that everybody pay by the 27th so that we can put together, so we'll have all those names ready to go. What we did forget to mention is you also have to sign up for e-billing. So there's 3 points. You have to pay your bill by the 27th. You have to sign up for my account, which is basically our platform on cablebahamas.com, where you can check your bill online, you can pay your bill online, manage your account balance, and then you have to sign up for e-billing. So those are separate things. You have to call in or email a Rev agent who can sign you up, and that's basically just so you get an email statement every month, because we're trying to move away from the paper. We're trying to also help the environment.
Save paper,
save the
plastic.
environment. Save travel. No, this is really good stuff. And we've seen a lot of exciting stuff happening with Rev and cable in general. We've got some new shows coming up on the lineup as well. That's in addition to this show that you're talking about. We can look forward to that. And then you guys have been doing something with bands lately, right? Music.
I'm happy to talk about that. So actually it's happening today on our social media page at Rev Cable Bahamas. So what we're doing is kind of a Bahamian twist on Tiny Desk. It's a very popular YouTube show that comes on with popular artists in the States. However, we wanted to bring recognition to our young Bahamian artists here in the Bahamas. And what better way to do that than at Rev? So every other Friday, we've already picked 7 winners, and they get to actually do a live performance at Rev right in our office. And we call it Rev Jam Sessions. So they come in, they bring their friends and everything, and it's literally a live recording of just them performing to give them exposure, let people know they're out there. And at the end of the 7 weeks, we choose a winner. Well, the people will choose the winner. And they get $5,000 in cash and prizes.
All right. So $5,000 in cash and prizes if you're an artist and you get to participate in this jam session. And then, of course, we have the opportunity to win that $5,000 in cash once we go through the year with you.
We're giving you a lot of money.
Yeah, man.
Season at giving money away this year.
All right. So, so we talked about how we can get signed up for this. When will the first drawing take place? When will we start?
The first drawing, I believe it is the 7th.
Of August?
Of August, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we've already started last year. If you paid your bill on time last month, it's not too late to sign up for my account and then get signed up for e-billing, and you can be entered to win next week, week after next.
Week after next.
I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm already paid up, so y'all know that. And then one of the other things that we were talking about is Trio, right? Is how's that going? Is that still happening? What's that about, and what's that process like?
So Trio is actually our best-selling campaign so far, and it's not really a surprise. I've been calling it the bundle from heaven because it's just a really great deal. You get TV, you get phone, you get internet for $99 a month. I mean, it's really just a fantastic deal, and it's about to get better. So we are about to release Trio 2.0 within the next few weeks. So, I mean, but Trio is doing fantastic, and again, it's going up from here.
All right. Well, listen, I'm so excited to have had you guys with us this morning. A lot of positive things happening at Rev, and then I love the fact that you guys are always also being great corporate sponsors. We had Dav talking with us about how they're working out with Summer Festival.
I'm ready to go tomorrow.
Yeah, man. I want to try to go to. I don't know. I can make it work.
Food is good.
It's all about the food.
It's just the food.
It's just the food. Okay, we foodies, so we can have a separate conversation of that off air. But ladies, thank you so much for joining us here. Just a reminder again for the 3 steps. pay the bill by the 27th, sign up for my account, get your email in there.
Yes,
that
so you sign up for e-billing, but you would have to talk to a Rev agent to do that.
Okay, sign up for e-billing, we're talking to a Rev agent to do that. And then you can enter to win cash and prizes, one drawing, first Wednesday in the month, beautiful host, good stuff happening.
Yep.
I got it, man.
Free money.
Ladies, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Sunrise. This is your boy Sovereign with your live weekend calendar. Rake and Scrape first anniversary concert featuring live performances by Rhythm Band and Bloody. Friday, July 26th, The Farm, Marshall Road, behind Anatole Rogers High School. Showtime 9 p.m. until. St. Martin Monastery Annual Stakeout. Saturday, July 27th, Monastery Grounds, 12 noon to 6 p.m. The Bahamas Ministry of Tourism presents Junkanoo Summer Festival each and every Saturday. Saturday, July 27th, Arawak Key, noon to midnight. Enjoy Junkanoo Rush Out, culinary shows, mixology, kitty corner, and more. Summer 19 Craft and Wine Series, family and friends. For brides-to-be and couples. Sunday, July 28th, Premier Crew, Glaston Road, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Admission is $75, includes 3 complimentary glasses of St. Michel Wines Estate wine. Hard Ore Collection Fashion Runway Showcase. Fashion Dynasty. Sunday, July 28th, Sapodilla Estates, West Bay Street Cocktail Hour at 6:30 p.m. Showtime at 8. The Bahamas Historical Society and Museum cordially invites you to a lecture by presenter Eric Weiberg on the topic, Mail Boats in the Bahamas. Thursday, August 1st, Bahamas Historical Society and Museum, corner of Shirley Street and Elizabeth Avenue, 6:15 to 7:30 p.m. That's your live weekend calendar. To have your event posted on the calendar, please don't hesitate to email kalbury@tclbahamas.com. Alive, believe in best.
This is Eddie, and Eddie's a change counter. This is Sean. Sean doesn't have to count change because when Sean purchases a plan with Alive, it's VAT inclusive. Keep things simple, just like Alive's all-new VAT-inclusive prepaid plans with more talk, more text, and even more data. So don't be an Eddie. Freedom simplified. Alive. Believe in best.
How are we making Rev work wonders for you? We are doing it together. You told us what you want, and we've heard you. Want faster broadband? How about speeds up to 1 gigabit per second? Want shorter house calls? 2 hours max. We promise. Want to take your entertainment anywhere? Well, your Rev Go Play app is here. Rev, we've heard you. You speak, we listen. Rev, you and us together.
WTO membership will bring benefits to the Bahamas. These benefits include increased economic growth and development, increased opportunities for Bahamian exports, higher employment, better income for Bahamian workers, lower cost of living for Bahamian consumers, increased choices for Bahamian consumers, modernization in government services, and better relations with trade partners. These benefits, combined with progressive planning and execution by our private and public sectors, will produce a better life for Bahamians.
Sunrise. I'm filling in for this segment, Javon Butler, as I'm joined by some illustrious men from the Bahamas Insurance Association, Mr. Edward Albury from J.S. Johnson, the Vice President of Claims, and Mr. Chris Day from Insurance Management, the Claims Manager for Insurance Management. Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Mr. Butler.
Ed, tell us, global warming, climate change, how is that impacting us when we think of hurricane preparedness?
All it means is that we have to all the more be ready.
Okay.
Anytime, any place. These phenomena are indeed we're causing a lot of havoc all over the world. So we just got to be ready and be prepared, and we know that they're going to happen. So that's bottom line is just to be ready.
Okay, and Chris, let me talk about that preparation. What is that preparation?
Yeah, we need to be ready, as Ed said. We need to be very, very careful that we're watching the news updates for hurricane warnings every day, and it's important that people are prepared. Be aware of your surroundings, be aware of your property, make sure that you can protect your property and know what that means. And if you're not sure, take advice on what it means to prepare your property and protect everything.
Okay, so Ed, when we think of insurance, and people always talk about protecting your property and mitigating your risk, are we still intimidated by insurance as a general populace, or have we become more comfortable specifically with hurricane insurance and all of the components that are attached to hurricane insurance?
I think we are becoming more and more in touch with it, and that's simply because we've had a lot more exposure to hurricanes, particularly Matthew being a very huge one. It gives me the opportunity to raise a point about deductibles that apply to hurricane insurance. There has been some misinformation about those deductibles and how they apply as well. Hurricane deductibles are usually 2% of the sum insured, and they're not 2% of the loss or the claim.
Now, what is the sum insured?
The sum insured is whatever you have your house insured for. If you're $200,000 sum insured, then the deductible is 2% of that figure.
You're looking at a $4,000
You're looking at a $4,000 deductible. So you should know right off the top that that amount is going to be deducted from your claim. Now, typically, I remember in the last season, there was some misinformation about how they are applied. Some people thought they had to pay it up front and so forth and so on. That's not the case. Actually, what happens is after the claim is actually assessed, then the deductible is deducted from the claim and you're paid the balance.
Okay, so using $200,000 example again. If my claim was for $3,500,
right,
in that case,
you have no claim.
You have no claim. But if it was for $4,500, I would receive $500 back.
Absolutely right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, we mentioned the sum insured.
Yes.
All right, but this is a hot topic in the Bahamas. What is underinsurance?
Yeah, very much so. It's important to make sure that your home is insured for the full cost of rebuilding it.
Okay.
That's the correct sum insured. So if it costs $200,000 to rebuild your home, that should be the amount for which you have your property insured. If you don't, and you're insured for something less than that, then you're sharing the risk. And the average clause will come into play. This is something that unfortunately we have to deal with on a regular basis. Average means you will be insuring and carrying the risk for a proportion of the loss. So if you only insure for 50% of the value, 50% of the claim will be deducted.
Okay. And when you mentioned the cost of rebuilding, usually when I hear of underinsurance, I'm thinking that it means that the property value in the open market. But you're saying that's not the case?
No, that's a common misconception.
Okay.
I understand why people go for that, but it's not. That's not the case at all. It is the cost of rebuilding the property, and it's critical people update their sum insured on a regular basis. If you've had the same sum insured for a number of years, it's time to review that with your broker and agent. Also remember that the government introduced VAT a few years ago, first at 7.5% and now at 12%, and that has affected the cost of rebuilding properties. It affects the cost of materials and labour. So that means you're likely to be underinsured if your sum insured hasn't been reviewed for more than 3 years.
Okay. Yeah. In terms of businesses, what are the insurances that they should be looking at during the hurricane season? Well, I guess in general, but specifically during hurricane preparedness.
Yeah, businesses want to make sure that they can stay in business. Okay. That's the main thing. And they want to make sure that they continue to do their business. So obviously they're going to take things like business interruption insurance very seriously to make sure that they can continue doing business. And if they need to use other premises, if the premises that they're using are devastated by a hurricane, business interruption can provide alternative premises that can be used in the meantime. So this insurance is probably the one that I would speak about most to businesses as being the most important one you could get to make sure that your business continues even in the event of a disaster.
Chris, if I want to find out more about the types of insurances there are and how they would benefit my business or myself as an individual, where can I go to research more information?
Well, Ed and I are here today on behalf of the Bahamas Insurance Association. That's always a good place for information. If people want unbiased, clear information, they can contact the BIA office on Mackey Street. Alternatively, please go to your broker and agent. Even if you're not a customer of a broker and agent, go for advice. They'll happily give you that advice, free and unbiased.
Okay. Ed, 60 seconds. What do you want to say to the general public out there when it comes to insurance, hurricane preparedness, and just ensuring that they are in the right place when it comes to their insurance coverage.
Yeah, I think that, to say very quickly, I think after the experience of Hurricane Matthew, everybody understands the importance of getting insurance. My thing is, there's just no better advice, there's just no better way to protect your assets, your home, your family, your pets, so forth. Please just make sure get the insurance. Insurance companies are willing to work out payment terms and so forth to make sure this is done. I just think it's the best way to go. Bahamians are not going to save, so let's get the insurance.
Okay, and in your last words?
Yeah, I think education and information about hurricane insurance and insurance generally. People don't want to think about insurance. It's not a glamorous product, but we have to insure our assets, and if you're a homeowner and a vehicle owner, take advice, get insurance, and make sure that you're properly covered in the event of a disaster happening.
Okay. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming on Bahamas
Thank
at
you,
Sunrise.
Javon.
It's been my
Thank you,
pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And please keep the communication and the information campaign going so that Bahamians will know what's going on.
Hopefully you'll bring us back.
We will, definitely.
Yeah, we'd love to come back.
This is Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Bahamas at Sunrise. Listen, if you want to contact the Disabilities Commission and get additional information, get those decals, you can reach them at 397-8634, 397-8614.
All right, please do that and make sure that you have a safe and wonderful weekend. We'll be back here on Monday. Bye.
Bye.